that's the iron working for you right there. You're putting.
That was very far on the heel.
I mean, that was a soft shank. You got a 25 footer for birdie.
It's a dynamic mix of the things, the launch, the spin, the descent. With this particular club, what was it that Miura focused on to really improve upon the last iteration?
Yeah, so.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Scottsdale studio. I am here joined by Doug Smith.
Yeah, and we're joined with Blake Smith. We're not cousins, but a lot of people think we are. Look, today we're testing the new PI-402 from Miura Golf. Blake, excited to have this product. You got to get to it. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so the PI-402 really stands for player improvement. It's a player's distance iron. This is the space that some people don't necessarily think Miura is. They think it's for better players, and this can be played by a better player, but this is really more of the player improvement area. It's our largest footprint, has the least amount of loft, really low center of gravity.
Blake, when we're talking about this 402, it looks like this is more of a tech iron from Miura. Haven't seen that yet from them.
We're not really synonymous with something like that, although we need to be able to provide that to more of the average golfer, something that's fast, can get up in the air. This is the most technology that we will put in an iron.
Well, let's talk about it. I see a little weight off the toe. We got 35 grams of tungsten on the inside. Anything else that's kind of hidden in this package that we need to know about?
Yeah, we have a Kasaki sole, which we'll talk about later. It's a little bit smaller than the previous version, although, you know, it's the biggest one that we have, and the top line got a little bit smaller.
Well, look, small top lines, bigger soles, and a little more, what's love right here. This is beautiful. Sam, let's get in here. I'm gonna give this back to you. Let's go in here. Let's hit a couple shots.
Let's do it.
Tell you, Blake, I got a chance to kind of look at that. It's a little bigger package than I'm used to seeing because I'm also used to seeing like the baby blade.
Oh yeah.
So then when I see this, it's all inspiring, but it also gives me that Miura feel and look. And Sammy, we'll go ahead and take a couple shots and see how it performs. Definitely want to get all the feedback from you here.
Yeah, that looks really good. I'm excited to hit it.
Yeah, that's definitely something that we put a big focus on. We want Miura to look really congruent all the way through. We want the nice thin top line all the way through, even in the player improvement iron.
Yeah, I think it looks really friendly to hit. I'm excited to see what it does.
Sounded really good.
Sam just makes me jealous watching him hit little feather fades.
That felt unbelievably soft, like really soft off the face. And making note that we're hitting a Pro V1X, and that still felt really soft.
Yep.
I mean, look at the numbers though, Sam. I mean, 5,500 spin, you're launching it just under 16 at 14 and a half. I mean, ball speed's crazy, cruising at 96. I mean, a lot of people are gonna say, oh, Blake, he hits it so hard, or what's it gonna do if I have less speed than that? But I think with the tungsten low and back, you're still gonna hit straight up in the air.
Yeah, you know, it's designed for lower swing speeds, right? So the way that we designed it with the tungsten, as you said, below the center of gravity, nice and low. We've made it so this golf club, no matter how fast you swing, is gonna get it up in the air. Also, with the loft package, this is our strongest loft. So we needed to drop that center of gravity down.
Yeah, but Sam, on that first shot you hit peak height at 105, and I mean, it came in under 50, so that's...
Yeah, that was good.
You can go ahead and buy that now.
I'll slow it down for you. The comment I was gonna make was about the spin. I think when you get into something of this, this category of iron, the lofts get strong, the spin comes down, and now you're telling people, great, you hit it really far, but you didn't hold any greens. So to see that spin at 5,500 inside off a mat, where outside you'll see a little bit more even, that's a playable golf shot for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna see that about 6,000 outside. But Sam, hit it one more because I want to get more feedback from you, especially Blake. I want to get into this sole because this is where I really think a lot of people are gonna value this club. When I look through the sell sheets and all the research data, that sole is really gonna be something that I'm excited to see.
Yeah, that sole is called the Kasaki sole. So Kasaki in Japanese refers to the traditional Japanese sword. So really sword steel is something that I used to kind of joke around about when I would fit Miura's. I'd say, hey, you want to try that one with the Japanese sword steel? Well, it kind of is that way, and with this sole, the Kasaki sole, basically that samurai sword or that Japanese sword can cut through anything nice and smooth. So this is going to cut through the turf. Really, if you're going to pick it or you're going to hit down on it hard.
Yeah, and I really appreciate just the thought that goes through. You know, when a club has that wonderful turf interaction, good strike there, Sam. Like, it just adds to the value and the confidence that you can have as a player.
Yeah.
You mentioned the sole, and I hadn't looked at it before, but it's interesting to see it looks like a sole that gets through grass, and when I swing and I'm steep, that's probably why this feels really good.
Oh yeah. And also, if you're going to play it in a 4-iron or a 5-iron, I know you're a good player with a lot of speed. If you're going to hit down on it, and then you're going to maybe want to shape it, right? So your natural tendency is to dig. If you want to shape it, if you want to hit a draw, then the front part of that's not going to bounce off the turf early. So that's definitely something that we kept in mind.
Well, I think you've also kept in spin in mind. I think a lot of when we're going into this category of iron, I feel like people are trying to just get the ball straight up, kind of get rid of some of that spin. And even on that strike where Sam's not, at his best, that's the iron working for you right there. That's going to bounce back on the green, Sam. I mean, it felt horrible, but you're putting.
That was very far on the heel.
I mean, that was a soft shank, and you almost. I mean, you had a 25-footer for birdie.
Yeah, that ball has no business ending up where it did.
I think that's also part of the tech, Blake, with the added kind of blade length on this one. Look, Sam hit that one
side. That was
off
the
the
toe
toe. So we saw everything we need to see in this iron in the last 2 shots from Sam, and he's collectively 50 feet from the flag.
Yep. So that's a perfect little test right there, right? 13 millimeters on the toe.
That one wasn't going off the heel.
That's bad.
I mean, also
you, Sam.
46 on your descent angle. That's really good, because when it draws, you're going to lower your spin and you're going to lower the launch and everything. So it maintained there. Yeah, that's something we definitely keep in mind. Spin, peak height, descent angle. That's definitely something that's gone into this iron.
Yeah, Blake, but what of our fitters, like with this one, I know it's a dynamic mix of the things, the launch, the spin, the descent. With this particular club, what was it that Miura focused on to really improve upon the last iteration?
Yeah, so the last iteration, although it looked really nice, we wanted to just be a little bit more compact, a little bit more offset here. So in this category,
that's unique though. Like to have more offset than the previous iteration, I feel like you don't see that very often.
Yeah, it's not very often. Although majority of the time, offset's going to help the player in this category, right? So when you hit a fade or you slice it, you need to launch it a little bit more left. Also, it's a little bit longer blade, so if you don't offset it, then it's going to be more right biased.
Sammy, let's see a big fade here. When we're talking about this category of irons, I think people forget that you can still shape it, you can still hit it highs and lows and the ups and downs. And again, Sam's going to try to make it pretty for everybody at home, but
I didn't
want
start
to
it
see
far
that.
enough.
I want to see that shape because as we know, this is still a movable club.
Yep. And the spin was pretty much right in the area
Spin's
you
amazing.
want it to be. And by the way, this green is kind of small, so that was a pretty good shot.
That was better.
Sam, I feel like with this iron though, even in this shaft combination, you're able to hit kind of the windows that you would want to see in the fitting process or when you're considering buying a club.
Yeah, I think the argument would be made for in the players improvement category, those players probably aren't worried about hitting it high, low, left, right, take spin off, do all that stuff. But the fact that it feels like you can do it with this is great. And back to your guys' point about offset, it really doesn't look like there's a lot of offset. I think behind the ball it looks really nice.
Yeah, and that's why I want to speak to the array of golfers that it could fit to, right? The better player obviously is going to flight it, going to change flights, going to hit fades, going to hit hooks, all that kind of stuff, right? But just the average golfer, the weekend warrior wants to go out there and hit it as straight as possible, but keep the spin up for anybody that actually wants to move the ball around.
So what all did you guys do? We're talking internals here.
A little difference from the 401 to the 402, we made sure that there's tungsten right behind the strike, so low and right behind strikes in the middle of that golf club. Center of gravity is right in the middle. Also, there is a TPU insert that really makes it so the vibration is dampened and that signature Miura feel, the solid punch feel is there.
Yeah, and I love the fact that, look, not everybody's going to play that forged, spin welded hosel kind of club. To see the family going this direction, I think is exciting for a lot of consumers.
Yeah, it's a cool expansion. We kind of got into the tech space, although it's not exactly in that area, but it's going to keep up with all those really techy, really fast irons out there.
Sam, I know you can get it up to 116 with an iron, which is, I don't even know how you do that. You don't even use the ground.
Yeah, it's silly.
That was hammered. But Blake, when we do see this from a player like Sam, look, with this particular shaft, yes, he is going to hit it up on the 12th tee because we are at the 11th at Torrey Pines, and I get that. That oh my God.
That was silly.
But look at
Wow.
this. But look at the spin rate.
Look at the efficiency as well, right?
I mean, that thing came off like a 4-iron for
Yeah, it
most
did.
players. But again, there's a reason though, and there's a lot of tech that's adding to this. That look, that launched at 12.
Yep.
It spun at 52, and it came in still under 50. We're right at 50 degrees. Like, what more can you ask for from a performance from an iron than that right there?
I mean, that right there is exactly what I want to see with somebody that absolutely roasts it like you do.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like it just has to be that player in this category, because as you're a player that's aging or getting older, or even a younger player that's starting to come on your way, I think this can fit multiple types of players. This isn't just player improvement, though it is.
Yeah, and you can mix and match too, right? So if you need forgiveness, I have the issue in my 4-iron area where it's a little too close to my 5-iron. So I need to put something in there. Real good possibility I'm going to actually game the PI-402.
I think the other part of it too is, again, I keep going back to talking about this category of iron. You can't forget that in this category of iron, that player still wants to look at something that looks good, and they still want it to feel good, right? So if you can give them both of those things with the added benefits of performance, then you're winning.
All right, let's see one more here, Sammy. I'm really excited about that sole. I think a lot of people are going to really value that. But Blake, as he hits this last one, what are you hoping that kind of the fitting community or the various places that are going to fit these clubs, what do you hope that they gain out of this?
Well, so, I want to go back onto my experience in fitting. I would really pay attention to distance, dispersion, and descent angle. So those were the 3 really big parts. Now, when I was fitting in this category, as you guys said before, as we've talked about, the spin was too low. So, and especially with the slow swing speed.
You got to get it up, straight up.
Yeah, so if the spin was low, then we needed that descent angle to be high. So if both those were low, it just wasn't to fit. Also, just talking about what you talked about earlier, with the aesthetics, right? So no matter what kind of golfer you are, you want to see beauty. And we at Miura look at our golf clubs as really fine works of jewelry, that kind of thought process. So having the biggest iron that we have in our lineup really look as good as it can. So with the fitter, when they're pulling the drawer opener, they have it on the wall or whatever, they're going to be able to show it to the person. The person's going to go, wow, this is beautiful. And they're going to say, well, I want to hit it. Other than it looks huge and I don't think
massive and off-putting. And Sam, look, even though again we're talking player improvement iron, it doesn't look like it. The top line's fairly slim. Maybe the sole's a tick wider, but I think that's on purpose. Oh, clearly it's intentional, especially with that sole. But I don't see any reason why you wouldn't, regardless of your skill level, regardless of your handicap, wherever you play, surf conditions, etc. I mean, it's a solid option.
Yeah, I think it depends on what it is you're looking for in your game and what you need. But as much as we've talked about this being a player's improvement iron, yeah, to your point, I think you could give this a look to anybody and see where it stacks up for sure.
All right, Sam, we talked about the fine jewelry piece that you have in your hand with that 402. Let's look at some of this data and see kind of how it stacks up. All right, Blake, you've been fitting for a long time. We're getting into this data. What are some of the things that either you're excited to see that jump out to you right here?
Yeah, so the thing that jumps out to me immediately is ball speed, not necessarily because it's fast. I like the standard deviation. So standard deviation is definitely the number that really good fitters look at on a regular basis. I know, Sam, you do. So that is something that's number 1, spin, and the standard deviation of spin, right? So there were some draws, there were some fades. Draws spin low, fades spin more, but the mean stayed in an area that we really like to see. So if it's in the 200s in standard deviation, 200 spin, that's fantastic.
It's not a lot at all. It's pretty tight.
Yeah, so I like the dispersion pattern. You normally hit a little bit of a buttercut from what I've seen.
He doesn't have a choice. He's over the top and left, so he's got to.
Right, and he's got so much power, you can get away with it. But yeah, so then the carry distance, standard deviation of 3, everything was really just landing. Even that little soft shank was right in that area.
It did happen.
Soft shank was good.
I know it was. If you were gonna shank it, why not shank it on the green?
I'm fighting the shanks right now.
It's fine. It's fine. Sam, what about you here?
My big one's gonna be spin. So whenever we test an iron in this category, that's the first conversation is, well, what's the loft on this iron? I think that's the first thing I asked you when you got here, right? And we talked about it was, what's the loft? But to see spin at 5,300 with a 6 iron of that category is awesome. We take that anytime.
Yeah, there's not a lot I don't like about these numbers. For a fader of the golf ball, again, we're hitting indoor. We're going to see another 5,000 or 500 RPM outside in the ground, roughly, give or take. Windows look great to me, Blake. They look good to you, and I think you guys are going to have a hell of a season.
Yeah, thank you very much. We're really excited about this one, and I think it's gonna really do well.
Yeah, we'll take a quick peek though. Club data.
Yeah,
You know
efficient.
Sam's always efficient. It doesn't even, you give him a broomstick, he's going to be efficient. But dynamically, Sam, not as strong as I thought it might be with how you deliver the club. So, but again, even with these numbers consistently 2 degrees left on the pad, we just kind of talked about that. The face angle was still a tick open, Blake, even with the additional offset in this iteration. Thought that might get closer to 0, just a little bit, left bias. Pretty impressed that it didn't.
Yeah, and I think good players might adjust a little bit, but we have some stuff in there that was early, and he wasn't fighting a hook. Although, I mean, this is our lightest club that we have, right? Miura has a lot of heavy clubs, not very heavy, but they're a little bit heavier than normal because of what I've talked about before: force equals mass times acceleration. So we want to really lean into that. The baby blade is a compact design with a bunch of force behind it. This is lighter, but the tungsten is positioned and the mass is right where it needs to be.
I'm just mad I didn't get to hit it, Sam.
Maybe next time.
Hey, Blake, thank you so much for stopping by today. Look, if you want to get fit for your new Miura PI-402s, be sure to stop into a True Spec nearest you. And of course, as always, listen, subscribe, like everything we do. Sam and I, we'll be back for more. We'll holla at you.